Steve Tober, sideline chatter with Brian Smith, sports editor of the Montclair Times and NorthJersey.com, featured writer on there as well. And Brian, the Mounties of Montclair, it's been a progression for Ron Gavazzi and crew, but at 11-7, they still have a lot of big games ahead of them.
Yeah, Steve, I think Ron kind of knew coming in with the youth on the team. I think he got 5 or 6 starters always in the starting lineup. That it might take a little time, but he's pretty confident with the way the team's playing now, and he likes his chances today and in the future coming into the state tournament as well.
I mean, Montclair baseball has had its ups and downs since after Claire Anderson left in the late 60s. They had some moments in the 70s with Connie Egan and even with John Petronasi and certainly Timmy Byron. But Gavazzi's added a new energy to the team in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you mention that because I think it was my first year at the Times, maybe 05 or 06. It was a big deal that they got into the quarterfinals of the Greater North Tournament, and now, it's almost an expectation, and I know Ron believes that the team should be even going farther than that each year. Last year was the first time they made it to the semis, probably in close to 40 years, and he thinks that it's a position that the team really should be in each year, and even progressing farther than that.
In baseball, I hear raves about how he runs practices and the precision of the practices. And baseball is such a disciplined game. It's the kind of game you have to have precision and repetition to be successful.
He's definitely brought that to the program, and I think the kids coming in now, this being his 6th year, know that coming into school, coming into the program. He's great with going down there and speaking to the kids when they're in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So, they might not like the practices all the time, but they certainly know what to expect coming in and the discipline and just the overall baseball acumen that they're going to get from him.
And you follow the Super Essex Conference American Division all season long. Some people say, my good friend Jeff Goldberg from Sports Information from Seton Hall Prep, it's not quite what the Iron Hills Iron Division was, but it's a pretty good division.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with Milburn this year, 17-4 coming into today's game. Chapman's obviously brought another level of not just discipline, but overall, baseball skill. And you can see it in the kids. He took a team that's pretty similar to last year's and has really brought it on. And, Montclair's there now. You always have Nutley there. Seton Hall Prep obviously being the granddaddy of sorts. But, Seton Hall was a little down for the beginning of the year, but they've clearly, reestablished themselves, I guess, as kind of the top of the division. But I'm sure Milburn would have something to say about that as well.
Yeah, it's always interesting, and we talk about this. For instance, the game we just saw the other day, Seton Hall Prep beating Montclair 12-2 in 5 innings. But it depends on who you're throwing out there that day. Cranford the other day lost to Union City 17-8. It's all who you're throwing. It's a difficult sport to handicap because you just don't know what you're going to get day to day.
Right, you are going to see that, especially with the ups and downs of the pitching. Obviously, most coaches come tourney time with the Thursday, Saturday format now for the next 2 rounds of the G&T. You don't always know who you're going to start. I know Ronnie kind of trotted out a couple kids yesterday against Seton Hall. Not that he wanted to take the loss, but obviously he was gearing toward today, and looks like he's going to be going with Elliot Gertner.
Elliot Gertner, the left-hander, and of course Sam Ackerman, the righty, who maybe gets a little more play in terms of some of the looks so far from colleges early on. I know some Ivy Leagues have expressed some interest already. But he's got a nice pitching staff developing, does Gavazzi.
Definitely. The only kid he's losing this year is Chris Pignatello, a senior, who's certainly done a great job as a starter last year and kind of a reliever in his sophomore year. But, he's come on this year, and the whole staff is back other than him. I know there's a lot of kids he's developing as relief kids this year, sophomores. Keith Harrison, Ben Hamilton, and those kids are going to be back in or into the starting rotation as starters next year as well.
Well, Brian, thanks for shedding some light on baseball circa SEC American in Montclair. Brian Smith of the Montclair Times. For NJ Hotshots and Sideline Chatter, I'm Steve Tober.